Hi guys, so today I'm here to answer a question I've been getting constantly across all my social media whenever I post a picture of Kennedy. Anytime I have posted a picture of Kennedy so far, I've gotten at least 4 or 5 people who've asked me if I'm going to do a birth vlog, and I unfortunately did not. It was fully my intention to film another birth vlog because we love watching Lincolns, but things did not go as planned, so instead I'm here to tell you my birth story, which is why we did not film a birth vlog. So Kennedy was due the 17th of September and Justin's birthday is the 15th of September. And he said he didn't want to have a baby on his birthday because he wanted it to remain his birthday. And so on the 15th I started feeling contractions and I had a doctor's appointment and she checked me and I had progressed but not anywhere near going into labor. So I wasn't too worried about it and I had kind of started getting some pains and I didn't know if it was maybe Braxton Hicks or anything like that because with Lincoln I was induced, so I never really got to have that experience at home of going into labor. And so all through the day I was having the pains and I didn't really say anything to anyone because it was Justin's birthday and I didn't want to like take away from his birthday. And so I went to bed that night and I probably woke up like 1 a.m. and I was in a ton of pain, and so I went and I took a hot shower and it just kind of kept getting worse and worse, and I sat in bed for about another hour kind of just waiting for the pain to maybe subside, and it did not. So I woke Justin up and I said, I really think we need to go to the hospital. And so we called my brother because he had said he would watch Lincoln if we went into labor, and he did not turn his phone on, and so we were calling him and calling him and calling him, and it took us like probably another hour to get him awake, and we had to call someone else in the house that he was in to go and wake him up. And then he finally got over here, and at that point I was having the worst contractions. I couldn't talk, I couldn't breathe, like I was just having horrible pain. And then we got in the car and started driving to the hospital, and in the car ride my contractions started getting worse and worse. And then finally they hit the point where I felt like I had to push, and that scared me so bad because when I felt that with Lincoln, within like 30 minutes she was there. And so we pulled up to the hospital and it was the middle of the night and the doors were locked, and so it said go to the other entrance. So we walked around the whole building and went to the other entrance, and when we got inside I said, where's labor and delivery? And he said, you're at the wrong hospital. And so in my town we have 2 hospitals, and one is downtown and one is kind of by our house. And I thought that they were 2 separate hospitals, not like they did certain things at one hospital and certain things at the other. And so we got back in the car and started driving to that hospital, and that was like the most painful 5-minute drive of my life. But we parked and got out of the car. That hospital was locked too. You had to pick up a phone and talk to someone in security and say I need to come inside. And so when we walked up to the door and Justin picked up the phone, my water broke and I was like, oh my gosh, this is it, like we're having a baby. And then we got inside, got upstairs to where we needed to go, and I sat in the bed and I got dressed in my hospital gown, and then the nurse says, I'm gonna check you and we'll see how far you are. And I definitely don't think they expected me to be where I was at, and I didn't even expect to be where I was at, but I'm at what they call a +1, which is like way past anything. That means like I should have been pushing and trying to deliver like an hour ago. So I asked, I said, so can I get an epidural? Because with Lincoln my biggest regret was how long I waited to get the epidural, where I like labored with Lincoln for a couple of hours and then I got the epidural and then she was there within a few minutes. But this time I knew like right from the get-go I wanted an epidural, and she said, no, you're too far along. And so I ended up unplanned natural birth, and it was the worst. And I definitely, now doing it both ways, I still would go with an epidural 100% of the time because it was horrible. And so they put me in a different bed and wheeled me upstairs and called my doctor, and somehow my doctor got there in time because it literally was the time that I left this room, they wheeled me upstairs, that my doctor walked in, and I pushed twice and then Kennedy was here. And so we walked in the door to the hospital at 4:47 and Kennedy arrived at 5:02. So it was literally like 15 minutes on the dot that she was there. And that scared me really bad because she was this close to being a car baby, which would have not been fun because we were driving my favorite car. And so all in all, she was 20 inches long. She was 6 pounds 3 ounces, which is less than Lincoln. And she was born on the 16th of September, so one day after Justin's birthday. So it might still overshadow his birthday a little bit, but I think he'll be happy to just have his day still. And so we had every intention of filming the birth, but it started, I didn't realize it had started, and by the time we had realized it, she was here. Like, we did not have time to even think to pull out a camera or to pack a camera or anything. It was only a few hours before we even left the hospital. I thought, oh, I'm probably gonna go into labor in the next like week. I'll pack my hospital bag. And luckily I did, because we left like a couple hours after I packed my hospital bag to go to the hospital. And so I'm so sorry we did not do a birth vlog. I really wish we had, but we did not have time. And so that is Kennedy's birth story. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Bye.